that I consider important when we create a vision of technology that we want to accomplish. And the definition is basically where we start. What's the scope of the product? What's the design? We make an assessment. We look at the strategies. So we would rather obviously measure a whole bunch of times than to start cutting directly into a system. In most of the other conferences I've been in sessions, it's all about people setting up large systems and using them. Video conferencing is a good example of a lot of systems that sit there unused because the definition and design and assessment of what they were really going to need it for turns out to be very small. So you really don't want to spend a ton of money if you're not going to utilize that service. Specification is really you get into the engineering side of looking at what you're doing, what's the scope, how much resources do you really have to accomplish that goal. Development is the funnest part. That's where I really enjoy, and marketing a lot, obviously, coming up with things like Sound Blaster and stuff. But it's fun to be there at that cutting edge and work out a problem and be able to use the technologies that are in front of you and build something with guys that know what they're doing. So when you start working with other companies and you get a good core set of guys, if you're installing something for an enterprise, take advantage of as much of like Shai and Williams guys as you can, because their guys are doing their particular quest, and your guys can more focus on what your own design and requirements are. And fourth, and probably the most important thing to always consider is the support you have to deal with. It costs a lot of money to pick up a phone and answer somebody's question. And you make X amount of dollars, and then you end up losing that money back to the customer. So support is a huge issue for us, and when we employ our products and start working, we're in the healthcare industry right now. It's a cost-effective thing to make sure that everything that you've done is supportable. And I like Williams' idea where they have shared resources for the programming of the APIs, the application programmer interfaces, which is what your program would be able to use. Those shared types of resources are what you really want to take advantage of a company when you're building a product. So that's kind of how we look at putting VoIP into the industry, and that was my quick overview.
Thanks, Jeff.